Chilling, maintaining.
Hey, man, I appreciate you stepping out tonight, man. Listen, for those who don't know, they're going to get a hell of a show tonight. Wild Tuna exclusive. We here with Rudy Lowe, legend, big legend. I see you got
Salute.
the life on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to wear the merch, you know what I mean?
Well, that's for sure,
I had
man.
to promote.
That's for sure. Listen, major impact in hip hop, impact in the culture, you know what I'm saying, in the movement. So we're gonna take it all the way back, man. I know you tell the story a lot, but we on another platform and I'm gonna ask you the same, you know what I'm saying, flow of how it go, man. Tell us from the very beginning how this thing got started for those who don't know.
All right. For those who don't know, I'm a first generation Ralphie kid. But the older generation created the Ralphie kids. So maybe let's say about ranges from about 3 to 5 years, maybe about 3 to 7 years older than us. Before that, all right, let's take it back. Where I'm from geographically is I'm from Brownsville, born and bred in Brownsville, but every day I went to Crown Heights. They neighbors. So me and my peers like to categorize it as Crownsville, a compound word of both areas. In Crown Heights, they was the two front posse. When I was real young, before I came out the house, and I came out the house early, when Cats first came out, my older peers, they had Cats and stuff. So they was, I guess, identified by that. So they was called a two front posse. Then it evolved to St. John's Polo Posse. Right? It was an older generation, like one of my OGs, Georgie, G. George. You know what I mean? We call him Puerto Rican Georgie. He got two other siblings. Lisa, she's the first original female for our culture. Little Lisa and his brother Heck. They was you could say they was young kleptos when they was real little, but they was still up for fun and recreation and clothes. Now one of the real not real OGs, one of the other OGs, they was Latino, even though it's a black neighborhood. The OG Frizz, which is Curtis, he's black. I like to say they did a collaboration. They taught Frizz how to steal. Frizz taught them how to fight and do other things. But on a large scale, we were stealing for survival skills and for personal gain, personal wear. Frizz at an extremely early age, he interjected the entrepreneur skills with us. He the one taught us that besides us clothing ourselves and feeding ourselves, we can make a revenue from it. And even back then, we started off with, like, even though we had clothes and we were stealing it for ourselves, when we first started selling merch or marketing and branding and selling clothes, it was Timbs, batteries, scarves. That was stuff that we stole in abundance and we sold it at wholesale. Now, where we live at is Utica, Renton, the last stop on a 4 train in Crown Heights. So it's always traffic. Almost, that's where the Labor Day parade starts at there. That's where it starts at, the West Indian Day Parade. You got going down the hill, you got it's the last stop on the train, you got like 2 major buses going, and you got dollar vans. So, you know, it's extremely popular. An older gentleman, he actually still alive. He lived around my way still, named Reggie. He was Guyanese. He had a lot of children. He was the first entrepreneur that me and my peers ever came in contact with. When I say that, meaning he the first person I ever saw sell clothes on a gate or sell clothes on the table outside the train. That was our first. There was a little bit of people from other areas, but it was mainly Crown Heights. In the extremely beginning, it's like I said it before. This is Ralphie kids. Now, we used to, let's say, all right, I'm gonna start out like this in a fashion sense. We got to keep in mind when we was younger, being 12, 13 years old, going in a high-end department store, going in a department store without an older person with you. You know, they looking where your parent at, who you with. You know, you can't purchase nothing for yourself, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, we had to get, you know, crafty and innovative. You know what I mean? To be able to go, we call them meows. A meow, I don't remember who created that term, but a meow is an acronym short for mission. So that's what we used to call when we go on our excursions or while we go on our journeys to make revenue, to make money. We call it meows. So now to go on the meows, like I said it before, a lot of our peers was older than us. So we're going to the department store, accompanying them, appear to be like a little brother or something like that, right? Of course, before we was lowlifes and all that stuff, and most of the people that was really deep in our culture, we call ourselves and we recognize ourselves as city slickers. City slickers. Because before we can go anywhere else, we had to master our own backyard, which was the city, Midtown, you know, Apple, Big Apple, the city of dreams. We want to go there, you know what I mean? Even though I'm a Brooklyn guy, I'm a Brooklyn kid at heart, I love Manhattan. I love Manhattan better than Brooklyn. Only because that's where I made my revenue at. That's where my dreams, my ambitions came from. And that's the bright light. You know what I mean? Like, later on in life, I understand that that's the crossroads of the world. You know what I mean? I understood that later on. But when I was a child, it was like almost being on the stage or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I always craved for attention at that time. You understand what I'm saying? So once we started going to Midtown, of course, it got redundant and we got hot after a while. You know, our faces got familiar. We couldn't go here, we couldn't go there. So at that stage, we became extra innovative. When we was children, we used to get the newspaper. You know, it's still the same thing. The newspaper had Macy's there, Macy's. Or I used to really look at it even from when I used to go to DFY, Jet magazines. I don't know if you remember the magazines.
I do.
The Jet magazine.
They used
to always have a beauty of the week. Like a little fashion female in there. But in the beauty of the week, on the back of the beauty of the weeks, they used to always have the stores. Dillers, Becks, Belks, you know, all the department stores that sold high-end clothes. So just like that, and just like the newspaper, we'll look on the bottom of there and it'll say, Tyson's Corner, Virginia. So we knew we'd go to the Port Authority or Metro North or wherever we go up for transportation, get a ticket, go there. We get off, we easily ask the cab driver, excuse me, can you take me to the mall? Tyson's Corner, I'm going to meet my parent or my grandmother or whoever. You go there, you do what you do, stash your stuff in the woods, and you come right back. You know what I'm saying? And that was at extremely young age because we burnt it out. So we like to say we took our show on the road.
That's
you
it.
know what I'm saying? and it was large, it was big steps for people that, when you're a teenager, I'm talking about you're not even 16 yet, 12, 13, 14, you going state to state, coming back. Now, back then, creating or dealing with retail theft or shoplifting was extremely easier. A lot of stores didn't have sensors at the time. Alarms. A lot of stores did not have alarms. So let's say, for example, I don't know if you remember Herman's. Herman's was a sporting goods store, a big sporting goods store. It was everywhere, like Model. It was a big chain everywhere. They sold Marvelous clothes. They sold Decente, K2, Rossignol, Black Ice, Head, you know, all this athletic stuff, ski products and stuff like that. So we'll go out of town and go in one of them spots. The racks is big, the racks is tall. We're hiding the racks, grab a duffel bag, and put like 40 coats in a duffel bag, a big ski duffel bag, and walk out, and we'll walk out and acting like our moms left us in the store, so like, we're mine, dragging it back. She left me in, she ain't buy the skis. She over here. You feel what I'm saying? And it just grew on us. Like I said before, I like to stress, it started out as a need and a necessity because of our upbringings, from harsh upbringings. You know what I mean? Some of our family members most of them was, let's say, alcoholics, drug addicts. Some was incarcerated. Some dodged the bullet. You know what I mean? Dodged their responsibility. But I know for me personally, and most of my peers, it became addictive. You know what I mean? It went beyond survival. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, we had it in abundance, so it became addictive. As you know, going on meows, going in the city, going to school, you run across different people. You know what I mean? You know, like I said before, Utica Avenues in Brooklyn, that's the 4 and the 3 line.
Okay.
When I was a child, the other major force was the Decepticons.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm special in different ways, and I'm privileged. I like to say that for my era and me and my peers, I like to brag and boast that I'm the glue that kept everything together. When I state that, I'm meaning this. The block that I'm from is Prospect between Ralph and Buffalo. Technically, Ralph Avenue is the borderline of Brownsville and Crown Heights.
Okay.
Now, the older people from the next generation, from my generation, was Tomahawks. That was a gang that was popular in New York City. Sonny Carson was associated with them. They had a movie called Education of Sonny Carson, and that was about the Tomahawks.
Right.
That's my family. So coming off the high of the Tomahawks, my block and my building, the court building, had so much of a reputation that the police and people never messed with us in my neighborhood. Like, we ran my neighborhood, my building. So therefore, me and my peers growing up, you know, of course, we did what we wanted a little bit because we was young. So, you know, the other people let us get away with stuff because they ain't want the problems with the older people. Now, on a corner of my block is where Trent shouted out Big Rumble, CBS. That's where the original Deceps is from. The original. From my building, my big homie Blitz, his name is Blitzwing, the Dirge, and Tone, they was original Deceps as well. They from my building. So I had the privilege of messing with them and the lowlights, because I am original lowlight. Like I said before, I was around before the lowlight title came about. I was around them since 2nd grade.
Right.
At 2nd grade,
now, is it true that the low life title really, you know, caught on after a conversation with a young lady?
Yeah. That's factual. That's factual.
Okay.
I was gonna get up to that. That's factual. With us, like I said, with us integrating and doing what teenagers do, we came across a lot of other people. One of my peers, shout out to Rack Low, RL Jury. He's from our side, from SJP. But you know, like I stated before, due to hardship and living conditions, he had to relocate to Midtown for a minute. And that's where a whole lot of my convers at. They say the Prince George, the Nathan, that was the welfare hotels. You know, like if your family lost their apartment for whatever reason, a fire or whatever, you move up there until you get relocated. After he went through that process, he moved with his family in Marcus Garvey. Now, I had family in Marcus Garvey too. My uncle Edward, God bless the dead, he lived in Marcus Garvey. Rack had family in the Garvey. So now once Rack moved to the Garvey, we started interacting with the Garvey more. You understand what I'm saying? Even though we ran through a few of them beforehand. Like, for example, my man Ski, shout out Ski Black, he was in class with Frizz. Him and God bless the dead, Marco Polo. So they've been on our side before. But as a big, on a large scale, it wasn't done until Rack moved there. And once we start more interacting, stuff became a marriage. You know what I mean? It was SJP and MGB. Now, once that happened, we started socializing more together. Because, you know, me and my peers were strictly money. I took my strictly money. The older peers used to go out to socialize and mess with broads and all that. Me and my peers, it was strictly, we wasn't playing games, we wasn't doing that. We was going to Meow 3 times a day, come back, sell our stuff. Might go to my man AV house, make some cookies, play with his dog Ginger, and we going to bed early by 9 o'clock. No lie, I still go to bed early now. Because we waking up about 7, 8 o'clock, we on that 9 o'clock meow. Then we got to be on a 12 o'clock meow. Then we got to be on a 4 o'clock meow. You understand what I'm saying? So now once we came across Brownsville, their schedule was a bit different. So if we didn't catch them on a 4 o'clock meow, we mainly caught them in the city.
Okay.
When we went to 42nd Street, you know, the Broadway, the Deuce, Times Square, we went to hang out on the weekends. That's when the stores wasn't open. The stores ain't open now. Like I said before, once we merged with them, you know, everybody, you know, it's how it is in life. different circles and different ciphers have some people that's popular for whatever reason, for different reasons.
Right.
Once we went to the Garvey, once Rack moved to Brownsville to the Garvey, you got people that stand out like Thurston Howard III is Vic Lowe.
Okay.
He stood out as a authority figure. Disco. Beck Live, technically he rep Marcus Garvey, hanging Marcus Garvey, but he's not from there, but he used to be on our side already.
Okay.
So long story short, once we came together, we started, going to hang out together. One day we was on 42nd Street, and like I say, Vic messed with the broads a lot, you know what I mean? Like, he used to be suave, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like I said, he was, you trying to rap, you get a female number, she might slide, you know what I mean? You think she's gone, so now you get the next number. You know how back then, people had competition going on, you know what I mean? I bet y'all get 20 numbers, you get 50, you know what I mean? So he doing his numbers, doing his due. She came back and she knocked him, you feel what I'm saying? And she used the terminology in a derogatory term, in a negative sense. But we was always using the terminology low, because low is short for polo.
Right.
So once she said that, God bless the dead, like the comrade, B. Bill, Shice Low, Boostin' Billy, Cat Mike, Dead Cat, he got hyped. Like he's one of the people that was the most animated out of us. You know what I mean? Animated with his hands. He's full of energy, a ball of energy. You know, he started stomping his feet on the ground. He started getting hyped, like, boy, like, yeah, that shit is, yeah. You know, like, people call him Mumra. They call him Dead Cat. You know what I mean? Like, he don't care. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't care. So he didn't care about the low-life terminology. He was hype over it. Everybody else didn't really jack it at first. So once he jacked it, and, and it's caught on like wildfire. People jacked it, and that's where the terminology came from. Even though some people like to remix, because they be capping, no facking, and say it came from other places, and said, no, I was there. I was standing right there when it was made. I was right there during the whole incident. The whole incident, I was there. You feel what I'm saying? And I have a memory that of an elephant. My shit is immaculate. And I'm not going to front. Sometimes it sound ignorant, but I really don't think about nothing else. Like, my whole life, I always thought about the same things redundantly, over and over and over in different ways, because this same thing always been my vision. It gets bigger. I become more innovative. Sometimes I have to add and change things, but it's still the same thing. So anytime I ever went on 42nd Street, anytime something major ever happened, my mind is still intact. You feel what I'm saying? I used to be a rapper. I used to rhyme. So if I can use the same energy and memory skills I could use to memorize a rhyme, I transferred that to law when I was in prison and I had life to get out. You understand what I'm saying? So unbeknownst to myself, I already, even though when I first started getting incarcerated when I was young, I was illiterate, I never knew that I possessed them skills.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The skills I'm talking about is this. Now that I'm older, when I was incarcerated, I taught a few classes. Like, I facilitated sometimes. And, as the older you get, the more you communicate with people. The more well-rounded you become. I come to realize that people like myself that was illiterate, rough backgrounds, people that's gang members, people that's 5%ers, even if you're not, if we wasn't educated in the traditional sense, if something grabbed our attention, we know how to use the second rate stuff. Meaning that, all right, I might not know how. In the beginning, I didn't know how to use syllables. I didn't know how to do words. I didn't learn it in the traditional sense. So someone had to verbally tell me it. I remember it by visual sight, but I got memory. memory. My memory's intact. So I'm saying that for a reason. So I always exercise my memory skills. I did a lot of time in the box, a whole lot of time in the box. So I have a vivid imagination, and I constantly replay stuff and critique. In that day. Now, from there, you just get this. I don't know. I'll be trying to picture it. Like, people from my era can understand it. This is one of the reasons why I always want an in-depth book on. They had popular areas, milestones, like Empire Skating Ring. extremely popular for Brooklyn Empire as a teenager.
Right.
So you get to see people from other areas.
Right.
Like I said again, 42nd Street, going to movies, and of course, you know, the 80s. I'm a hip hop baby.
Right.
Low life is hip hop, and hip hop is low life. Like,
right.
To me, it's one of the same. I can prove it through reason and logic. So of course we was in the clubs. Of course, you know what I mean. We was influenced by the things that other people was influenced by. But
right.
by us making that collaboration, we begin to grow and grow
right.
and grow. You feel
right.
what I'm saying? And
right.
when you got a group of people walking down the block, you're gonna draw a lot of attention. But when you got a group of fly people walking down the block, now that's extraordinary.
Right.
That's different. You feel what I'm saying? Now,
right.
the younger generations and people that's from not from New York City geographically or the tri-state area, people tend to find it hard to believe that me and my peers, low lifes or urban streetwear, that we propelled and excelled Ralph Lauren clothes to the next level.
Unbelievably.
This, for some of my peers, and I'm gonna keep it clean. I'm not gonna be controversy. Some of my peers didn't have the same dreams that I had in the beginning.
Right.
Like I said it before, I always had these dreams all my life. When I was released in '95, once I started my entertainment rap career and all that, when I created the logo and all that,
right.
I had to create a bio. You know what I mean? And,
right.
So when I created my bio and my press kit, I went to the library on 42nd Street and 5th Avenue on the public library. Did my research. From 1986 to 1992, Ralph Lauren sales went up in the urban department. The urban department. His clothes wasn't intentionally made for urban America, which was Black, Spanish, Latino America. It was originally produced for what it's produced for: rugby, polo, croquet, and whatever else it was made for. You know what I mean? A brass button, Carnegie is made for you to go to school in. You know what I'm saying? But we took it, we threw our urban twist on it. But now once we started wearing it on a large scale, some rappers started wearing it, other street people start wearing it. So the first few years, them golden years, Ralph Lauren caught on. Somebody in his company, so he said, all right, we're going to make RL. First they made Ralph RL Company, the bullshit jean shit to it. To make our jeans, for the jeans, they have to be double RL or RL Country with the narrow shit. So now the urban people can fit in that. Then he went and did what all the other major corporations do, and I'm old enough to know that now. Back then, I didn't know. He came out with Polo Sport. Polo Sport. Anytime it's sport, it's cheap. Range Rover Sport, cheap. That's for the black people. That's a technical way to say cheap.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You got the high-end, cream of the crop, and you got the sport. But we don't know no better as consumers. You feel what I'm saying? So that's when our sales went up. And the sales went up when he was making classical items that came back out in the retro era, which is big flags, big yachts, the big crowns, the big silk. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
We know for some reason we love stuff that's loud, vibrant, stuff that you can see the logo like this big ass logo from all the way down the block. You know what I mean? You want to be seen.
Right.
So them big symbols he was coming out and with the colors and with his color schemes, like I don't support Ralph Lauren. Don't get me wrong, but anything I do, I got to keep it 100.
Right.
I was in love with his clothes back then, and what he did now still can't be matched in a fashion sense because I know the dynamics that Versace and everybody else emulated and copied of Ralph Lauren. Before the Versace silks and all that came out, the silk crowns, them silk crazies was already there. You feel what I'm saying? Brass buttons and all that other stuff was already there.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So me and my peers, we did it on a real large scale, extremely large scale. Even though some people took on other names, or some people didn't. See, without being controversy, two of my most popular, I'm gonna say maybe two of the most popular lowlights beside myself.
Yeah.
Neither one of them believed in this. When I say this, meaning lowlights as books, movies, merch, because they said it was going. I'm talking about They said this in the beginning, 95. It's going to be negative because we did negative things and people remember us for negativity. So I told them, like, I don't know how to separate it. Like, when I became an artist, I was myself. I was Rudy. I don't know how to be fake. Like, I never knew how to do that. I don't know how to lie. I can't lie. I can't be corny. It's mad. No, I don't know how to do it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I've never been ashamed of my past. Everything I've been through, even with the life in prison, in a sense, minus my son, minus me being out of my son life, I wouldn't change it for nothing else. Because it showed me who certain people is, and I may not be alive now, or I may not be in the mind frame that I am now if I didn't go through that then.
Yeah,
because a lot of my peers that I know I would have been with on one of them things is away for a lot of time. You feel what I'm saying? So I would have been on. I know me. I would have been on one of them.
Right.
But
and
I couldn't change it. Huh?
And even that process, you even had, I believe, if I did my research correct, somebody that you was close to had caused you to, even do that time, if that's true.
Yeah, facts. So-called friends. I actually, he called me about 2 days ago. He supposed to gave me something. About 2 months ago, I ran into him in Harlem, and he allegedly said he wanted to put the differences aside, and I guess he's gonna give me something to take away. It's nothing you could give me to take away. I did 9 years and 4 months, so it's nothing you could do to take that time back. So you know what I said. I'm a slick, sarcastic motherfucker. Since it's my time, I can't take time back. You can't rewind time. So fuck it. You was a hot nigga. I'll take a watch. Next time I look at the time, I can remember you, because every time I think about my time, I think about him, and it blows my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
So hopefully, I'm gonna shout you out, Junior Mafia member. I know you watching. What up, bro? Tuesday passes. Holla at your kid, man. You know what I mean? We can put that past us. But shit become more mixy. Now, what I know, I was gonna say what I feel. What I know is this: it wasn't the clothes that we wore that makes us popular.
Right.
It's the trials and tribulations that we went through to get the clothes, and it's the era that we was in that we had the clothes. You see, right now, a whole lot of people, everybody named Mama is fly now. Everybody wear high-end clothes. Everybody wear jewelry.
Right.
But this is a different era. It's not rough like it was back then for our families, and it's not rough like that is now in the streets. Niggas ain't robbing you for a shirt. When I was going to jail, niggas was robbing you for a BVD. I said a BVD, a nylon shirt. Niggas is taking your drawers off you in jail when I went to jail. And I was in there with jewelry on, polo, jewelry, all that. You feel what I'm saying? I was walking around the streets when it meant something, when niggas will book you for a coat. Fuck jury. Niggas will shoot you for a coat.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what makes us us. So if you take away the essence, the core, if you take away that, you take away the characteristics of what a lowlife is. Yeah. And this is what corporate America try to do, and some of my peers try to do. That makes me extremely irate because of this. I'm tired of shooting and being seeming redundant, but I know more than likely you saw Horsepower.
Indeed.
Complex.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Complex try to picture the narrative that hip-hop, emphasis added, hip-hop took Ralph Lauren and Polo to the next level. And to incorporate that, he put Fabulous, 2 Chainz, Thurston Howell III, Racklow, Raekwon the Chef, and whoever else in there to support what he was saying. Right. I beg to differ, and this is what I'm gonna prove right now to the audience. Mm-hmm. When I was a child, like I explained on DAP, and I was with him recently, the streets, rappers, which was rappers, not MCs, rappers. It's a difference. Rappers emulated the streets. Eric B. and Rakim used to be around Supreme Magnetic, Baby Paw, 50 Cent in them. Right. LL Cool J and people from Harlem emulated Alpo, AZ, Supreme from Queens, Prince, Fat Cat. They emulated them. Right. And then the rest of the public emulated that. Right. That's how it was.
That's real.
So when you saw all the motherfuckers fly, when you see Biggie, you see Special Ed, Boot Camp, whoever, their essence come from here.
Right.
Unrenowned fact. See, now it's different. Now people emulate Lil Wayne and Lil Durk and whoever. Now the streets emulate the rappers. This shit is like really backwards.
No, that's real.
You feel what I'm saying?
100%.
So now also, in addition to, when people working 9-to-5 jobs, when the people's on the block hugging the block, doing whatever they do, it's me and my crew that's in the stores getting to what's new.
Right.
And our distant cousin, the scammers, my man. You feel what I'm saying? That's for the modern sense. So I'm bringing you the shit fresh off the floor, fresh from the flagship store. Fresh off the floor, fresh from the flagship store. You feel what I'm saying? Even though, even like now, even back then, niggas was shopping at outlets. You feel what I'm saying? We be finding clothes from out of state that are not even out yet. Where you didn't even see the color. You didn't even see the shit yet.
Right.
That's the cream of the crop. You feel what I'm saying? Because my thing is, if I'm going to steal, I want to steal the best. If I'm going to go to the can, I might as well go to the can without passing the test. This is my word, kid. Real talk.
No, that's real.
So we bringing you all that. I'm talking about this is unrenowned. Biggie era now. I happen to have it was enjoyment. I watched Mad Ism on the Brother Channel Live, him and Klepto. I watched their show yesterday, right? He interviewed Klep. I always Klep a part of my book. I always have Klep as a part of my life. Kleptomaniac, Terrence from Flatbush, from Junior Mafia. He explained how he brought the fashion shits to Biggie. When people that's outside of Brooklyn, when I explain that to them, that Lowlife has an input with that, they be looking like, oh. But my comrade, Scott, White Boy Scott, Henny Lope, original Lowlife, original Junior Mafia, he the big homie to Junior Mafia. You feel what I'm saying? The big homie to them.
Right.
My man Webb, God bless the dead. So when Biggie did his first video, God bless the dead, and when he had the champion shirt on with the rip in it, I already had cars and rollies, and we the same age. And I was already extra fly already because I was still in it. I had magic in my hand throughout the lands. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, Klepto was an extra fly dude. So Klepto explained that he only met Biggie in '94.
Okay.
But he brought his style, his class, his finesse, and that swag with him, and they incorporated that in Junior Mafia.
Right.
Now, my man's from FAP, Franklin Ave. You know what I mean? Horace, he shouted out Horace. One of my mans, Haiti, McGiz, and my man Ha, God bless the dead, and my man Little. Ha's from Crown Heights, but he had moved to Detroit. Muslim, you know, Detroit got the Muslim thing going and all that. So this is '95.
Right.
We going to, I ain't go at first. They went the first time. They went to Detroit, you know, to go out there to visit Ha and to get money. So they went out there and stole mad Coogis, mad Gators, and the Versace glasses.
Right.
So now, when they come back, nobody in the city rocking them. Nah. My little man, God bless the dead, Little. God bless the dead, motherfucking Birdo. Panna, Free Sight Bike, Panna, and you know what I mean? They was the youngest at the time. Yo, Camus, Face, shout it out. They went to the D. You know what I mean? So now when they come back, they brought Foxy out the house. You know what I mean? I say, my man Shaky, Ryan, and all of them, Foxy from around their way. Foxy used to be with them. You know what I mean? So they running around, they young. I'm talking about they young, but they hype. You know, their energy is crazy. They fly.
Yeah.
If anybody from Brooklyn remember my first year home, 95 Biltmore. It was a talent show in Biltmore. That's the West Indian Club in Flatbush. It was a talent show there on Easter. I ain't gonna front. I had some bum ass polo shit on. I just came home. My man AV took me there. Panna's sister was taping it. They all came in there. Free Luca, shout it out, Luca. So they all came in there with Versace down. And back then, Biggie wasn't wearing it. Only artist used to wear it was Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
Okay.
And remember, they from Westchester, and they had that shit up there in their mall. They sold Versace up there in the mall, so that's something different.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? The niggas had the glasses, the hat, the belt, the Versace down.
Right.
They blessed the town. You feel what I'm saying? That took the fashion to the next level. That's when Mr. Foreign was born. That's when I realized that I'd grown from all around to Mr. Foreign. Never boring. You feel what I'm saying? And that's when hip-hop took it to the next level because klepto was the segue.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Klepto was the segue. Bong, bong. So now, since they on a big platform, they artists, is the whole world looking at them. So now the whole world gonna look at them and emulate. If you notice Biggie's first video, anybody can go back and check this. Party Bullshit, Juicy and all that, he had no Versace's. He had regular glasses on.
Okay.
The next video, you see Klepto in the bathroom with Versace's on. Klepto, Terrence, he had Versace's on. Biggie did. When the girl was urinating in the urinal, he didn't have glasses on until the Total Remix. Lincoln Terrace. He came through with Keith Murray in him. That's when he got the Versace's. Remember, he had them before that. And once they got a budget, then you can get custom-made Versace made and all that because it wasn't made that big. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, that's heavy. So, like I was saying, we influence a lot in the fashion sense, but you can't tell you can't tell a lot of other people that because they really wouldn't bear witness.
Right.
I don't even know where else to go.
Let's talk about that transition though. When you got back out, you know what I'm saying, you did your time, you jumped back out, put the brand on, you know what I mean? We know, you know I'm rocking, so you know we know where it came from when it comes to the fashion, the influence, you know what I'm saying, to this day, you know, even in Philly, you know, you connected down here, there's people down in Philly like
Philly my home.
Even with my pops, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Low was everything. Like, yo, we busting down the Low stores, okay, we doing this. But I go back and I'm looking at the old pics. They had the teddy bears and all that back then.
I can go back to Dimensions. I can go back to Dimensions downtown, Market Street. I can go to John Wanamaker's. I done ran out of John Wanamaker's and hit the tracks before. I can go to Squaw Bridges in the Galleria. I can go to Squaw Bridges in the Galleria. We done bust windows in town.
Real right.
Second home. That's my second home. I love Philly.
That's love, man.
And I'm not going to front, minus the new era of the low lives, fucks with Philly more.
Okay.
When I say that, meaning B-Bill is B-Bill is, me personally, is no low lights without B-Bill. It's certain people in our culture, myself, it'd be no low lights without me. It's certain people to be no low lights without. Most definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, Shice Low is one of the major ones. He's one of the major ones. The first one, them L's that we throw up, like I said in a few interviews and stuff, he created them L's. I'm gonna say that one more time. I just had a conversation. I was in Philly like a month ago.
Right.
And, me and Miss Kelly, me and Miss Audrey, his mother, had a conversation, right? And I had to reiterate it to her and explain to her again that if I ever be extremely successful from this cookie, from this logo, from my lifestyle, whatever PC Mike would have got, she's gonna get. Because even if my peers don't recognize it, I recognize it. That he, besides him personally influencing me, I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna say the whole culture. He created those L's, them two L's that we throw up. He created them L's. He created them. He's the one who used to throw the two L's up. You feel what I'm saying? Now, besides that, a lot of people don't like to bear witness to this. Is 90% of the lowlights was money makers and ladies' men. Money, hoes, and designer clothes. You don't hear nothing about mayhem and murder.
That's real.
You don't hear that.
You just hear the flies.
My man get money and get bitches. So everybody hated us. The thug niggas, man, this nigga trying to trick on my bitch. Oh, he's a bitch ass nigga. He ain't got no gun. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's real.
Hated us.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody go through more trials and tribulations than Dead Cat Mike boosting Billy. He went to Cybertron. Cybertron is Cybertron. He went to printing, graphic. That was the school of the Decepticons. The Decepticons was our rivalry. Not me per se, because remember, I know the original ones. But that, back in them days, that was like, Mike was like being a head Crip, the most famous Crip person, going to a blood school when it's in the middle of a blood war. That's how it was. But guess what? Mike came back to school every fucking day.
Right.
He came back to school every day and came back fly and still fought.
Real one. Real one.
That's a real one. I'm talking about real.
Right.
Now, what people misinterpret about B. Bill is this. He didn't grow up with the traditional family structure. It was only him and his sister Michelle. The rest of his family's in Philly. You know what I mean? So we was his family.
Right.
And like I stated before, me and my peers, our families, our parents had deficiencies. They had vices.
Right.
So they wasn't perfect at the time.
Right.
So when internally your household is not at harmony, you go outside your household to try to find that escape. Right. And sometimes you find it in your peers. Mm-hmm. And that's what Mike did. So when we fought each other eternally, he'll cry. Like, you know, you got some people that siblings, man, they ain't fighting their siblings. They ain't fighting their family. But let somebody be outside the family, it's a wrap. They're going to go crazy. That's how Mike is. So some of the people, some of our peers misinterpret that to say, oh, boy, ain't like, he ain't that wild or he ain't this. But he never ran. He did this. And the most important thing is he was innovative. Mm-hmm. He took his show on the road. Right. When I say he took a show on the road, I mean he took a show on the road. What people got to realize is being 12 and 13 years old, it's hard. It takes courage. I guess it takes some type of courage to maybe get a package of weed from an older dude on the block and stand on the block or in front of the project and get ready to package. The older dude is watching you. It still takes courage. You might still get locked up and, go to, juvenile or something like that. But it takes more courage to go all the way to get all the way on the train, go all the way to Manhattan, or go all the way to Jersey by yourself. Go in the store where you know nobody at, where a whole bunch of white people at, and take what you want and come back home. I know people that kill people that can't do that, man. I don't know why. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people been raised and reared not to steal, so that was installed in them from home, so they don't steal. But I ain't talking about y'all niggas that steal out your mother pocket. Y'all niggas that steal from your baby mother. You steal out, you know what I mean? Fuck out of here. Like, you go around here and shoot a nigga. You talking about, man, how you go in that store and steal? Nigga, where your courage at? You feel what I'm saying?
No, that's real. That's real shit.
Now, it left me well versed with me being able to go to Philly, go all these other places, Pittsburgh, at a young age, everywhere. When I started getting locked up, it ain't nothing. I'm used to meeting new people. I know how to interact. You feel what I'm saying? It makes me well-rounded. Right. For sure. That's what Mike brought to the game. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? That's just one of the things he brought to the game.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But people in Philly appreciates that. They don't try to remix that. They don't try to put themselves above that or compare themselves to that. Right. You feel what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, what I come to realize with a lot, I knew it in my upbringings, but during the years getting more educated and studying and reading more stuff, then I can identify with it and I can realize that people be, I guess, insecure in their own self. Yeah. And so they remix stuff or they pump fake. Right. What makes a man, or what makes somebody stand out is not what you go through when you chilling, when you at harmony. Is when you go through trials and tribulations, obstacles, hurdles. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And how you come out or what you do afterwards. That's what's